No, angikwazi ukuzizwa uma wenza njena. USA coming in with the Sister Day is the sport bar. And today's sport news again in Patelege, the saddest news that you recently heard but I'm gonna start with the Kenyan runner Agnes after she was found dead on her house here in Kenya on the western side where she was stabbed very bad in the neck and on the stomach. That's the news said. And also we have a FA drama that happened during England versus Hungary, where the story of racism still continues in England and also in other countries, European countries. So this thing is so very, very, very serious, and you need to take precautions in Gambela where you are and what you do tackling this incident racism, because it affects a lot and you can be arrested for that. And also we have a match ngizoqala ke ngematch kaJake Paul who's fighting against funny. He's starting to make those jokes, those comments, but he's serious on this statement that if he loses in this match, he's gonna pay Furry 500,000 US dollars or $500,000 if you like to call. And if he wins, Jake Paul, if he wins, Ukari have to change his name. From Tom Fari to Tommy Fumbles for the whole year. Just imagine that. And also let me just go and tackle the story of this lady ekade ngikhuluma ngayo. I'm just gonna quickly go to the story ukuthi ke kwenzakalani. This is the story. I'm sure you can see the visuals on the screen right now. Let me just quickly and say what happened to this lady. When this story goes, when the police got into the house, they found Tarib. When the police got in the house, they found Tarib on the bed and there was a pool of blood on the floor. They saw they had been stabbed in the neck, which led to believe it was a knife wound, and we believe that it was caused her death. Her husband is still a large and preliminary, and the preliminary investigation tell us her husband is a suspect because he cannot be found. The police are trying to find her husband to explain what happened to Trirob. This is a 25-year-old lady. He's been doing things. We got athletes break record from running 5,000 kilometers. Olympic Games in 2015, where she broke the record to getting the award. The 19-year-old to get an award at the age of 19, go 5,000 kilometers. And also she won this title. They won this award 2 times. And also in Japan, Tokyo, Japan, what they see now, she also it became number 4, but this sad news sanda kuzizwa ngayo isithi isistory masiqhubeka. Athlete Kenya are distraught to learn about the untimely death of the world 10,000 meter bronze medalist Agnes Tirop. Kenya has lost a jewelry who was one of the fastest rising athlete giants on the international stage thanks to her eye-catching performance on the track. This lady has recently break the record got 10k ezweni lakubo women's alone breaking the world record got 10k. It's so sad to see the story masimeka njena. I know ukuthi most of us, since the husband is missing, is still on question. The news are not saying that the husband is the cause or the husband is the one who killed this lady, but officially is her wife. But they are still curious, they're still investigating, and they want to find him. Since he's missing, there might be many things that are going through his mind. He might be the cause, he might not be the cause, but as the story continues, we're gonna find out what really happened. Not to leave the story ngaphandle England, the story. I'm just going to read the headline. It's FA firing a FIFA act on England. England-Hungary trouble. What really happened in England? But Hungary fans fought with the police during the early stages of 1-1 draw in Tuesday World Cup qualifiers at Wembley after one supporter was arrested for allegedly racial abusing a steward. But the Football Association could face a punishment after FIFA opened a disciplinary proceeding over the trouble involving Hungary fans at Wembley on Tuesday night. This thing of racism is still continuing. Also, there is a fan that is already arrested for this matters. He was shouting in this match. We've heard the players England before a game they kneeled for be show the respect against racism, but what the guys at Hungary were remaining standing as the match before Iqale, and they pointed to the logo anti-racism. So that poses us many questions about that, because by the way I see things, I think all people should bow through this racism thing during the matches, as all the players do. But these Hungary guys, they did differently, and so this drama, as it came out, it's not surprising for me, because already as the match started, before it started, there was something that raises many questions. And I think Hungary, there were Hungary people who were in England, so they inquire with other fans from England, because England has has blacks as well, but there is this racism that is continuing. And these guys, when they are bowing, and this thing, when it goes, sometimes it's so scary, sometimes it's so very confusing. If you find yourself in that situation, sometimes it's hard. How can you react, or what to do? As a person who's playing sports, I think emotionally, if you're playing in a field where there is a negative energy, it affects even your behavior. I think looking at the score was 1-1 against Hungary. Maybe England might make made more, but I think because of this, most of people were affected, because we had a number of black players or mixed in field. So as I'm continuing with sports, COVID-19, before I continue going to the results and the score, let me remind you, there's still COVID-19. We still need to take care of ourselves. We still have to look for one another. And also this vaccination thing, I know some other people have negative energy towards it, and they have stories running on social media. I would advise you to just find the right source. Just go direct to the doctors and ask the people who are above what is vaccine for, why we use vaccine, and what are the benefits of being vaccinated, because there are places that you're going to be limited if you're not vaccinated. Talking about sports, there are places where there are sport codes where now if you are playing for the certain club, you can't go or you can't play because you are not vaccinated, because this vaccination thing has been taken seriously. Like last week I told you, Scotland already they applied to every friend is going to come into the sports field must come with the document who vaccinate you, because there will be no people who are allowed to enter if they are not vaccinated, and also people who are playing inside the field. And also emphasize on even the people who are playing sports who are inside the sports to be vaccinated. We've heard negative energy as well to other players in some other places, but just go and get vaccinated. As I continue with sports, we had the World Cup qualifiers as I was tackling the story. I'm just going to go and start with more qualifications from Africa. I'm going to give you also the stats with izinto zime kanjani. On Sunday the 5th, kuqale kwadlala Rwanda versus Kenya, kwaba idraw 1-1. Then Itogo played against Namibia, of which Namibia took 3 points and did 1-0. And then Gabon, Elika Aubameyang was playing against Egypt. Eliga Mohamed Salah, of which game ended 1-1. A goal by Mustafa at the 98th minute. And then we had on Monday, we had to get our matches I2. We had the matches we had the matches from Itipuchi against Niger, of which Niger winning 4-2, and then Uganda draw 0 against 0-0 against Mali, and then Benin decided to take 1 point against the Congo at DR 1-1 as well. And then we have the Central African Republic losing against Eritrea 1-0. Then we had our South African squad winning 1-0 against Ghana, of which is one of the squads here in Africa, Ghana, but South Africa was able to win 1-0. The goal by by Suoane at the 83rd minute. We are proud of South Africa. We are proud of Bafana. They are doing us proud. Like I told you, I like to see with South Africa what is going to be doing, but I had a positive energy toward this new coach SSC naye. South Africa probably will, if ngempela qualifier ngoba ithatha ama point. I'm just going to give you the local team kanjani, and then the qualifier for the World Cup. It's going to be our first time to qualify through our group stages to a World Cup, because World Cup it's because we were hosting it. We didn't have to qualify for it. It was a 2010 FIFA World Cup, of which in group stages. But this new South Africa, this new Bafana, we want to see them entering World Cup 2020 in Qatar. As I continue at the last match on Monday, we had the Cote d'Ivoire winning 2-1 against the Cameroon. Then on Tuesday, we had the Zambia against Tunisia winning 2-0 against Zambia. Then we have Malawi playing against Mozambique, Malawi taking 3 points, winning 1-0. Then we have Ethiopia against Zimbabwe, Ethiopia winning 1-0 as well. Then we have Tanzania 3-2 against Madagascar. Madagascar was beaten ngamagoli amathathu kwamabili, of which for me who watch soccer, Madagascar is doing so well in soccer right now, because looking at the score 3-2, it means they were a tough club to be against. And then you have Equatorial Guinea against Mauritania, of which Equatorial Guinea winning 1-0. We have Cape Verde, Iceland losing against Nigeria 2-1, well expected. Then you have Congo against Senegal taking 3 points, winning 3-1. Burkina Faso against Algeria taking 1-1 draw. And then you have have Angola losing against Liberia 1-0. Liberia taking 1 point. Then you have Saudi Arabia against Guinea-Bissau, of which Guinea-Bissau winning 4-2, taking 3 points. Then you get on Tuesday. Then we have Guinea against Morocco, of which Guinea lost 4-1 against Morocco. These are the logs, but ngiwasho wonke individually, but I'm just gonna quote where South Africa stands nanokuthi, because we know ukuthi ama groups since emaningi bakwethu, and in the time kugcina ku group J ngisaqhubeka nakwezinye indawo. I'm just going to tackle a group where the South African is, which is South Africa group G, and South Africa is standing on the first position with 10 points, 4 goal difference emagamini I4 no loss, which but consider only 1 goal. Then Ghana is on the second spot with 9 points. Ethiopia on the third spot with the 3 points, and then Zimbabwe with the 1 point with the negative 4 goals. And then bese siyaqhubeka asimile ama World Cup qualifiers our mile ayaqhubeka, and let's move to the Asian qualifications. This is how they played. Japan was playing against Australia, which Japan winning 2-1. Then we have Iran against the Korean Republic, of which there was a 1-1 draw. And then we had Syria against Lebanon, of which Lebanon winning 3-2, taking 3 points. And then we have Oman against Vietnam, of which Oman winning 3-1 against Vietnam. Then we have UAE against Iraq, of which the draw there was a draw of 2-2. Then we have Saudi Arabia beating China 3-2. Wow, what just their top 3 because they just only have 2 groups. Then you have Group A, of which Lebanon is on the third spot, 5 points, and then second spot you have a Korea Republic with 8 points. Then on number 1 you have Iran with 10 points. Game I4 in total. And then we have top 3 Group B. We have Oman, 4 games, 6 points, 0 goal difference. Then number 2 we have Australia dropping to the second spot, 4 games, 5 goal difference and 9 points. And number 1 you have Saudi Arabia standing on the first spot, 4 games, 5 goal difference and 12 points, unbeaten. They only conceded 3 goals and able to score 8 goals. We are anticipating to see how they're gonna do if they qualify for the World Cup. On another dimension, have a World Cup qualifier. Yes, Europe, of which I know you guys were waiting to see Europe, what was happening, because I know some of you are interested in English, interested in the European football rather. Let me just go and take you on Monday. On Monday we have Cyprus against Malta, of the draw of 2-2 in the match. Then you have Belarus 2-0 ishawage Czech Republic amagole Bauschik and Hozec. And then you have Estonia against Wales, of which Wales winning 1-0. Wales Wales Bale. Then you have Lithuania against Italy, of which Italy won 2-1. And then we have in Netherlands that was playing against Netherlands was playing against Gibraltar, of which Netherlands won 6-0. 6-0 buffet. So this scores when it comes to Amazwe, it's so painful, and I'm just gonna mention who scored the goals. Then we have a defender, the central back, one of the best, Van Dijk. Then we have Memphis Depay scoring a brace. Then we have Dumfries. Then we have Ukroniveld, and then we have Omalen, who is playing for right now Borussia Dortmund. And then then in Norway, the Norwegian Wessiga Haaland ibidlala neMontenegro, of which ke iwinile ngo-2-0. The goals by Nkosy eshaya i-brace on the match. Lapho sinayo ke i-red card from iMontenegro, of which ke is one of the things egamini usually ezingaveli, but mayivelile you know ukuthi it was so tough for another side. Then Croatia drawing 2-2 against Slovakia rather. And then game Krubega, we had the game Slovenia versus Russia, of which Russia beated Slovenia 2-1, taking 3 points. Then we have Iceland beating Lithuania 4-0. Then Krubega, then we have North Macedonia was beaten by Germany 4-0. The goals by Havertz, Mulsalia, and then brace by Timo Werner. Lamagoli Wakore in a space of 3 minutes. Well done to Timo Werner, the Chelsea star, of which these days he's been eyed by Bayern Munich. As was who knows Nkosy, who was coaching Leipzig by the time before Chelsea bought him, is now in Munich, but let's leave that for another day. Then you have Romania winning 1-0 against Armenia. Then we go on Tuesday. On Tuesday, we have Kazakhstan versus Finland. Finland winning 2-0. And then you have Portugal striking with the 5-0 against Luxembourg. The goals by other Cristiano Ronaldo scoring the brace. And then you get Bruno Fernandes. By the way, Cristiano Ronaldo he scored a hat-trick, of which it's putted him on the one of the records to play games amaningi for his squad, and also the record to score many goals for the on the competition, 113. And then you get Ballon d'Or, because some of you have rumors ukuthi Messi already bathi bafisa ukuthi engathi ngawo yena wina engathi yena uzowina iBallon d'Or, but on myself I say rather something else different. Then you have Serbia playing against Azerbaijan, of which Serbia winning 3-1 against the Azerbaijan. A goal by Vlahovic and Tadic. Vlahovic scored a brace. Again, Vlahovic is showing on this show again. It's not the first time already. This guy just like I said, usually I'm the analyst. I do the analysis in football. Already you are seeing for yourself. There are things that when I say something, you need to just put your eye in there and do your own research as well. Very, very good on that. Then we have Kosovo against Georgia, of which Georgia taking 3 points, winning 2-1. Then heavy Sudan, Agweska Ibrahimovic winning 2-0 against Greece. And then we have Bulgaria at 2-1 against Northern Ireland. Then heavy Lithuania losing against Switzerland 4-0. Another big score in the competition shows that there are clubs that are able to play and dominate in the game without others to score against them. Ukraine 1-1 against Bosnia Herzegovina. Then Denmark winning 1-0 against Austria. The goal by Masle. When you're reading this name, Masle here in South Africa, but it's not Masle or Masle, but it's Masle. And then we continue. Heavy Forts Iceland was lost against Scotland 1-0. Then we have Israel playing against Moldova, of which Israel win this match 2-1. Then we have Albania losing against Poland 1-0. England 1-1 draw against Hungary, the match I was talking about. And then you have San Marino losing against Andorra 3-0. This is how European Championship eqhubekile. I'm just gonna give you all number Okay, I'm just gonna say, look at the time. Okay, 13:33. I'm just gonna give you from number 1 to number 2 kuphela on the groups, because they have groups from 1 to J now as well. Okay, on Group A we have Isabia on the first spot, 7 games, 17 points. Then Portugal with the 6 games, 16 points, of which again our basane game eyodwa in hand abangakayidlali. And on Group B, we have Sweden on the first spot, 6 games, 15 points, and then Spain on the second spot, 6 games, 13 points. Now, Basasalele 1 game each, which others they've played 7 games already. Then Group C, Italy and Sweden are on the top spots with the 14 points both, of which Italy is topping with 11 goal difference. Then on Group D, Ukraine and France. Ukraine number 2, 7 games, 9 points. France on number 1, 6 games at 12 points, of which they're gonna still they are still not beaten in the competition. They are continuing at the stake. Belgium sitting on the first spot on Group E, and second spot Czech Republic, 7 games, Czech Republic 11 points, and then Belgium in 6 games 16 points. Now basangathopa nje kakhulu bengasakwazi ukuthi beficeke. Denmark sitting on the first spot Group F, landela lapha Scotland on the second spot of which Scotland 17 points, and then Denmark 24 points. Iyazenzela noma ke sisithina iyazidalela. Group G, Netherlands on the first spot, 8 games, 19 points, and Norway 8 points, 17 points. 8 games, 17 points. Then Group H, Russia sitting on the first spot, 8 games, both of them in Croatia with the second spot. Croatia 17 points, and then Russia 19 points. Group I, England on the first spot, second Poland, of which England is with the 20 points, and then Poland with 17 points. In Group J, the last group, Germany sitting on the first spot, 8 games, 20 goal difference at 21 points. Lapho ke besane lose eyodwa, and they decided to consider 3 goals only. They have 20 points. They have 20 goals in total. Then you have Romania on the second spot, 8 games, 13 points. And then here we're going to the last group of which these guys they're not gonna have a league since my country is amancane, and we have Kitts and Nevis losing against the El Salvador 4-0, and then you have El Salvador again basically in the second leg against the Kitts and Nevis, of which bawinile futhi nakhona ngo 2-0, of which Salvador itophile ngo 6 goals, of which bona automatically they're gonna qualify for the cup. And then Haiti played their first leg against Canada. Canada winning 1-0. Then Canada is a hoster on Wednesday. Winner go 3-0. Then Canada about 4-0. A goal aggregates against the Haiti, which makes them qualify. And then you have Panama on the first leg against Curacao and 2-1. And then on the second match they draw 0-0. Which Panama automatically ngo 2-1 isikole mase siphelele. And then we NBA sesiyaqhubeka sisingiyavala ke manje nge-NBA ke ngizonqalela khona I know ukuthi league ayikaqali. We have pre-season matches only, of which ngizoqala ama matches from Friday ukuthi kudlalwe kanjani. I'm starting with the 70s. Will the Philadelphia 76ers winning the game against the Raptors 113 of 125. Then again ama Grizzlies winning away with 128 of 98 Kuma Hornets. And then we have ama Rockets losing against ama Hearts, ama Heat 113 of 106. And then we have ama Pacers winning another game I need to look at this club and look at them and look at the players. How are they winning the games 3 times or 4 times unbeaten? 109 out of 100 lapha ama-Gelvas. And then you have my Brooklyn Nets against the Bucks. The rivalry is still continuous. Ama-Nets winning 119 of 115 against the Milwaukee Bucks. Then my Bulls win against Pelicans. Bulls won 121 of 85. Then you have Mavericks against the Clippers, which Mavericks winning 122 of 114. Then you have Spurs against the Heat again. Pre-season match na corner even on Saturday 105 of 109 of which Heat are winning. They have Nuggets 112 losing against the Thunder Wolves 114. Then you have my Warriors fighting against the Lakers, of which my Warriors won 121 of 14. Then you have my Celtics against the Raptors, of which my Celtics are winning 113 of 111. Then you have my Wizards playing against Knicks, and then my Knicks are winning 117 of 99. Then my Grizzlies again, they hosted my Hawks, of which my Hawks one of the favorite clubs are corner are winning 91 of 87. This match was tough with both sides angafiki 100 and making so lesser points ngempela of which winning 91 points, so into engajwayelekile to the bigger clubs. Then have a Magic, they didn't have much magic ngempela. Spurs were able to beat them 101 of 100. I'm sure ukuthi lapho kungene i-3-pointer yazohlanganisa lo 101 ekugcineni, but that is because angibuka ngaleyo mesh, that is my guess. And then you have ama-Calvas against ama-Bulls, of which ama-Bulls are winning 102 of 101. Ama-Clevelers ngempela they need to up their game njalo mahlezi bebeat, they're only beating 1 point or 2 point or 3 point ngempela, but they are not beating ama-point amaningi. Then ama-Bucks winning against ama-Thunder. Ama-Thunder when able to thunder ama-Bucks 130 of 110. Then you have ama-Lakers again. Ama-Lakers, there still pose concern for me and for other fans who are watching NBA. Lakers losing against Phoenix Suns 123 of 94. Then you have Raptors coming back again and winning against the Rockets, which be home 107 of 92. Then you have Hearts winning again against the Hornets 104 of 103. Kunzima kushubile ku-NBA bafethu, and I can't wait to iqale season. Then you have 76ers against the Nets, or 76ers showing the big club they are 115 of 104 against the Nets. And then Grizzlies continue their winning streak 127 winning against the Pistons, of which they were able to do 96. We have Jazz winning 127 96 against Pelicans. And then we had Kings playing against the Blazers. Even Hambe away Kings, they showed who really Kings are, winning 107 of 93. Then Clippers were hosting Timberwolves, of which Wolves were able to roll on them, and then basketball win number 128 of 100. Wizards losing against the Raptors 113 of 108. Our matches are from today. Before our matches from today, adlale kanje, of which adlale namhlanje ebusuku. Then our Hornets against the Mavericks. Mavericks winning 127 of 59. It's like, according to the person who watches NBA, it's like udlala wedwa ngempela, doubling someone's points ngempela. Like, it's tough. Pacers were able to pace the Grizzlies, and then they won 109 of 107 ngempela. Magic were able to do magic this time because they were home, beating Celtics 103 of 102. Then Knicks were playing against Pistons, and then Knicks won 108 of 100. Then Thunder winning against the Nuggets 108 of 99. Then Jazz another winning game For them, 124 of 120 against Milwaukee Bucks. Big up to the upcoming games azobidlala tomorrow, of which abanye bazothi namhlanje tomorrow ngo-1 ebusuku kuzobe kudlala ke ama-Hawks nama-Hearts, Bet namathimba Wolves, bese kuzoba ama-Thunder Nuggets, bese kuzodlala neNkosi the Kings against the Lakers. Ama-Kings are home, by the way, and Lakers are away, and the Lakers, we're still expecting more from them. This is a match that's all we have to watch. Kings versus Lakers tomorrow or 4 ebusuku, or ekseni rather. Tomorrow or 4 ekseni. Let's wake up and watch this match. Ukuthi kuzokwenzakalani. I'm gonna bring you on Tuesday ukuthi kwenzakaleni. This is Seize the Day, the Sport Buzz by Nkosy SA. Mina namhlanje ke Nkosy yakanxumalo ke yakandwandwe uNkosi nathi wanxumalo ugcina lapha for namhlanje we Seize the Day, the Sport Buzz ke ngizobe nginiphathele ezinye indaba ke next week. There's lots of things that are happening around. I know ukuthi you wanted me to speak about football, ukuthi what is happening since we are on break. Now I just want to take a break because the stories that are going online right now, the rumors, some of them they are so negative, and I'm just gonna find my sources are writing in Bella, because on social media people are blowing up with the story of Messi, Mbappe, of Ballon d'Or. There's lots of drama that is happening, and also there is this Newcastle thing. Newcastle has just recently been owned by the Saudi Arabian prince. Just imagine the prince is owning the club in Newcastle, and the Newcastle already, let me just report this, already Newcastle is sitting on the top spot, is one of the richest clubs in the world automatically, just being bought by this prince Saudi Arabia and the company Bonage. Now the club, before I say how much the club weighs, let me just go back to the top 3 right now. On number 3 is Manchester City. Manchester City weighed $3 billion. Oh, okay. Not dollars, 3 billion euros, rather. Man City weighed 3 million euros, 3 billion euros. And then the second spot, I know it's hard to get to the second spot, so it's between when and when. But the second spot is taken by PSG, of which baby leader. PSG weighed 240 billion euros. I just want you to swallow that. 240 billion euros, that is weight of the club. And then number 1, the recent owners who are owning Newcastle, of which it is in the middle of the table. It's not been doing very well for the past decades, and Newcastle is not one of those clubs that are so difficult to play against, and they are one of the clubs that have been conceding goals. Like this season alone, the first 7 games, they've already conceded 2 digits goals, and they're depending on 2 players that are one of their stars and don't want to let go of them. But lucky for them, they're still going to stay, because this new owner has made the club to weigh $320 billion of the club. This club costs $320 billion. Right now, that is the weight of the club. And I've heard since we have protocols when it comes to buying, we window transfer. Newcastle, we heard next year they are budgeting £190 million or 220 million euros for the window transfer. I just can't wait what is going to be happening on window transfer. I just wish I can stay with you and explain it to you how dramatic it will be. But who knows? There will be big signings ngempela azobenzeka, but it's not one of those again on social media, just like I told you, and people already have made fun ukuthi ke iskimini khona Haaland, khona Mbappe, khona Messi, khona Ronaldo. That is how big the club is worth right now. They can buy all those players and pay them ngaphandle nje kokuthi bebe nenkinga, but because of protocols and the laws of football league yes England, of which English Premier League, there are protocols akhona nakhona. By the way, right now, before I leave you, I just want to do this. Just go to our YouTube page, Car Radio, subscribe on our YouTube page, and also follow us. Like our page on Facebook, like our Facebook page, Car Radio. Basically, wenza nje follow myself Nkosy SA under one name, Nkosy SA Nxumalo, on Instagram and also on Facebook. Nxumalo ingane nje kade sengishilo ukuthi ke sengizophuma but ke angiphumi ngedwa, ngiphuma with the queen of the palace. Uthi ke lo mhlaba ungowakho, Dr. Suoane Msomi.